Shalom, giving all praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Shemi Havashah by Shemukah Gadash, the minds of the apostles and the others that were well. Peace and many salutations to Banyam that's totally in this truth. Now, we have it to where a lot's coming out on target. They won, they actually lost about $9 billion because of the boycott over the new clothing line they was coming out with, which endorsed Satanism. It literally had, writing on it that said Satan loves transgenders. They had swimwear that allow little boys to tuck their private area, if you get my drift, into their swimsuit so they can, hide and look like a girl. And now this is coming out. Now this is according to New York Post. It says Target gave $2.1 million to the LGBTQ group that urges schools to hide kids' gender transitions from parents. Now I've been saying this quite often. There is a hidden agenda with the movement of the alphabet community on the children, and really they want to control the population. They want to control your children. They want to be these children's parents. In a lot of ways, they already are. There's a vast majority of people that live in single parent households, or if they're not living in a single parent household, the two parent household, the parents don't have enough money in which, or make enough money in which the father could go to work and the mother could stay at home. Okay. And this causes, with the inability to, substantially take care of that household without having it to where, one person could just work and go, and the child taken care of, or, as a single parent and, that person needs assistance with the children, especially educational wise. The the government, has set up, a way in which these kids are being indoctrinated, and this is really started by the Rockefellers after, during the Industrial Revolution. Many people, they were farmers and things of that nature, and they learned from, their parents, of how to, basically run that business of farming, or whatever business they were engaged in, carpentry, things of that nature. It was more hands-on, but with the, Industrial Revolution, these factories needed more workers. Here comes the school system. The school system is merely a way in which these kids are trained to be good employees. Okay, they're not trained on how to be innovative. They're not trained to have critical thinking. They're not trained to understand business. It's really what's really important about and understand business is credit, the uses of credit, and how to start businesses and things of that nature. They're not taught that. They're taught to get a good job, or go to school, go to college, get in debt, or possibly not. If your parents were responsible enough. With most people, that's not the case. Go into debt, get a degree that's really useless nowadays. Go to work, try to buy a house, and hopefully you could retire at 65. Well, that dream is dead now. Okay, due to inflation, and numerous other things. That dream is dead. Most people are struggling to pay rent. Most people are living from check to check. Most people don't have $1,000 in their bank account. So the majority of people are in a rat race. They don't have time to be parents. And with that, with Esau Edom controlling time, your time, he's able to indoctrinate your children, right, for his agenda. And that agenda is transhumanism, transcending the whole concept of male and female. There's actually a term called non-binary. Okay, non-binary, where you don't identify as a male or female. That's being pushed on these children. Not only that, but you have homosexual books being published uh, in these libraries for children as young as 5 years old. Okay, why is that? Well, it's a way in which he's going to control the population. Transhumanism is nothing but a more sophisticated eugenics, with a culling that's going to happen soon. Esau Edom wants to be able to determine the sex of your children. See, now they're pushing this whole alphabet agenda on your children, um, to eventually to where you're not going to have any say so on whether or not your child is a male or female. Your child will be a product of the government, and the government will determine your sex, well, its sex depending on its numbers that it produces. Okay, this is why they're doing this. Is why they're normalizing these various sex changes in children. Okay, this is why this is being more normalized. We have to understand this. And people think they're fighting for freedom and things of that nature. Really, they're fighting to their destruction. Okay, they're fighting for a minority group of people. A very short, small group of people. I think it was like 1% of people who are transgender, and then not to mention most people who transcend, if you will, for lack of a better term. Majority of them end up committing suicide because they're unhappy. So a lot of these um, mental disorders or demons that people have, is being diagnosed as, you know, them being unhappy about their sex when really they have other eternal problems, you know, and these various mental illnesses that people have, they're being used, I should say, for the agenda of Esau Edom. And Esau Edom wants to become God. He wants to control your children. Okay? We've been saying this. Okay? And a lot of people, they are bound down to this government this way. Okay? This is why destruction has to happen. All right? Now, before I read this, I wanted to prove something to you guys. So I have it pulled up about what I just spoke about in regards to the educational system. Now, this is I just simply Googled it. It says the General Education Board. The General Education Board was a private organization which was used primarily to support higher education in medical schools in the United States and to help rural white and black schools in the South, as well as modernize farming practices in the South. It helped eradicate bookworm and created the country agent system in American agriculture, linking research as state agricultural experiment stations with actual practices in the field. Now, this is the point. The board was created in 1902 after John D. Rockefeller donated an initial $1 million, equivalent to what's that, 33 million in 2002 to the cause. the Rockefeller family would eventually give over 100, 180 million to fund the general education board. And the reason why is because, again, the Rockefellers, were pioneers in what the Industrial Revolution. So they was taking people off the farm and they was placing them where they were placing them in the in these various uh, industries or warehouses, okay, for their agenda. So they need people to know how to. These kids know how to form and things of that nature. So Esau Edom, he thinks about generation. When that child is at 33 years old, 23 years old, Esau Edom doesn't need them to know how to plant seeds and to feed cows and things of that nature. No, he needs you to know how to clock in, regurgitate whatever that manager tells you to do, right? Go to lunch, you know, uh, reach your goal, or at these various um, plants, you know, save up, get your wage, save a little money, and do it all over again, right? This is what he needed you to do, and this is why the school system was implemented. Okay, now Esau Edom has another agenda. You see, Esau Edom has always had. If you study the Greeks and things of that nature, he always was fixated on population control. Always, there's always a rhetoric that Esau Edom would push. Okay, this is nothing but a mere way to control the population. Look up pederasty. I go into that often, right? Pederasty is basically where the aristocrats of the Greek culture would have sexual relations with teenage boys for population control. Okay, this is something that was a part of that culture, especially the Greek culture. Okay, now we see this being pushed here in Babylon the Great because the Greeks are ruling the Macedonians, right? The Argites, if you get my drift, the Edomites. They're ruling now, and they had that same ideology. You know, this is merely a form of eugenics, painted as transhumanism, painted as being progressive. But this man has hidden agendas. Okay, now this is Target. This is according to the New York Post. Target gave 2.1 million to the LGBTQ group that urges schools to hide kids' gender transitions from parents. You see this bullshit? Excuse my language. It says the retail giant, which has been the subject of widespread boycott calls in the wake of protests over its Pride collection, has partnered with the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, uh, Glsen, Glsen, a teacher group founded in 1990, with the aim of creating a firmly learning environment for LGBTQ youth. Okay, now check this out. Check this out. It says, let's see here. I want to get straight to the point because I want to get straight to the point, man. But I'll just read until I get to the point. How about that? You know, I don't want to waste you guys' time because it's the same crap that we see going on. It says, Glsen has also opposed efforts by legislatures to ban alphabet books with sexually explicit themes. You see that? And Buzz been doing sit downs on this. If you look at these books, it's going into all types of wickedness, man. that kids don't need to see. Hell, adults don't need to see it, but kids certainly don't need to see it. Two men going at it, two women going at it, and giving grave details about it. You know, before the kids leave nature, won't just let them be kids, but that's a whole new other topic. You know, uh, Glsen led the movement in creating affirming and anti-racist spaces for the alphabet students. We are proud of 10 plus years of collaboration with Glsen and continue to support their mission, Target said. Target and Glisten share a belief that all children deserve the opportunity to learn and to thrive in a safe environment, said Lachey Ward. And it's always our people that's a part of this wicked, these wicked movements. And this has always been a problem with our people taking on these various customs and becoming wicked in the process. We seen this in during the time of the Greek captivity. All right, our people becoming Hellenistic and taking on these wayward doctrines. Okay, um, now the alphabet community has been married due to Biden, married and psyops like BLM, the plight of the so-called Negro. The head tribe Judah has been married with the alphabet community. Okay, so it goes hand in hand now, and they use Jake's horrible history in America as a way to push their agenda. Okay, and our women and men go along with it. Okay, but mostly our women. Our women are into say homosexuality. Okay, and by doing so, they don't even realize. They don't even realize that they're doing the bidding of Satan, but they think they're progressive. I gotta get this scripture. Romans 1 and I'll just use this book Bible here. Now this is Romans 1. I believe I was at 22. Romans 1 and 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. This is what we see with the whole alphabet community. It's ridiculous to say that there's more than one sex. It's ridiculous to say that there is no sex. You're non-binary. It's ridiculous to make the argument that a man can identify as a woman. It's ridiculous. So with these new age this new age knowledge, people are becoming very foolish in their thinking. It's very foolish to think that a man that's 6'4", 220 pounds is a woman. You're not a woman. You're just a man who mutilated his sexual organs, right? That's it. You can't have a child. You can't birth a child. You can't have an abortion because you can't get pregnant. You can't have periods. You're just ridiculous. And this is what we see being pushed here. And it's funny how people who are, democratic, they used to have push the whole notion like we believe in science. Well, if you believe in science, then why would you throw away in your mind billions of years of evolution for your uh for your emotions? What would be the point of that? In the and if you look at the whole concept of evolution, which is the proliferation of positive genes for the betterment of society. You have to ask yourself why would you perpetuate that if you believe in evolution? Well, a lot of people, with this newfound knowledge, but professing themselves to be wise, they are in fact uh, proponents for eugenics and don't even realize it, which is the proliferation of positive genes and the destruction of genes that are deemed as negative. You know what I'm saying? And our people, and you got to keep it a buck. You know, you got to keep it a buck. Our women, you know what I'm saying, in particular, our black women, they are perpetuating this. You see that? So, reading it again, Romans 5:22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, smart dummies, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man. Women, God as a woman, you know what I'm saying? The black woman is God, that concept is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Okay, and we're seeing it. We're seeing the dangers of it. I'm saying, okay, not to veer off too much, but we see the dangers of that concept. And to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things, wherefore most also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. You see that? So our women, with the whole movement, they have changed the natural use. Okay? You dating a woman that's acting like a man. You know what I'm saying? And you got the film, you got the uh, masculine film, and it's just ridiculous. And all these people who are doing it, they're depressed and things of that nature. They're giving up to these mental disorders. Why is that? Because they're not living according to what nature, which was governed by the Most High, uh, uh, told them to live like. Okay? And likewise, also the man leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in the lust one towards another, man with man working that which is unseemly, and that is what we see that's unseemly seen in these books that's perpetuated by these alphabet communities in these libraries that's going to be given to your kids. Okay, this wickedness is being given to your kids and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. All right, so let's go back. It says where we at? I'm in the second paragraph on your page. It says the voices and stories of the students and educators in this documentary shows how far we've come as a nation and give us hope that all students can reach their full potential and be proud of who they are. Okay, so uh, Glsen has been one of the organizations that have urged states and school districts to refrain from notifying parents whenever students decide to socially transition their gender. Now, if your child decided to smoke crack, decided to do meth, decided to, um, I don't know, uh, do things detrimental to them, smoke cigarettes, you as a parent, you would want to know how it's more so for them uh, changing uh, their sex, which could be mentally detrimental unto them. We know spiritually, what happens to a child when that happens. You know, spiritually, you're giving up unto Satan. But we're keeping it secularly speaking. We we have to know that there be psychological damage to these children, right? There's a lot of people who transition that um kill themselves, that are, very depressed, which is not spoken about. Uh, so why would a organization push this, perpetuate this? Well, this is a way in which the government is going to again control your children for its agenda of eugenics, aka transhumanism. Okay, and he pushes it as if it's, you know, for peace and things of that nature, but in all actuality, it's for your detriment, for your destruction. Think about it. If two men get together, two women to get together, your seed, your progeny, if I'm saying that correctly, excuse me or not, um, posterity is not being passed on. Okay, it's not. It's not being passed down. Or you might go get a surrogate mother, or some sperm. You know what I'm saying? So you know that has nothing to do with your legacy. Your legacy stops. This is what they want, man. This is what they ultimately want. But they're painting on the banner as of it being for freedom and things of that nature, and it could be further from the truth. Okay, so Esau Edom, this guy, he got to be stopped. you know, and he was prophesied to do these type of things, to speak these great swelling words to control the people. Psalms 58:1. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. They poison like the poison of a serpent. And Esau Edom is known as the serpent people. All right. And the serpent is very, they're seen as a serpent because it's very seductive and how it attacks its prey. Very methodical, very calculated in how he controls and attacks and just and kills his prey. This is what we see with Esau Edom. Okay, so being bit by this man's uh, poison, which our people are slowly dying. Okay, and they don't even realize it, man, because our people don't have the concept of generational wealth, generations. People have a very impulsive mindset, what I'm saying, governed by their feelings and emotions. That's why they have put women over us to rule over us, right? Because women are governed by, again, by their feelings, and those feelings can be manipulated, given uh, the correct circumstances. This is what we see with Adam and Eve and the serpent. The serpent wasn't a snake, slithering around. It was an actual man. Okay, the son of perdition, the wicked. All right, Esau Edom, the majority of you so-called white people. Okay, all right. So we're calling for the Most High to save us from this man's poison. All right. Uh, Back to it. It says, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, Here we are, we're telling him the correct thing to the serpent, but he's not listening. He's full set on uh, poisoning the masses with his rhetoric. Okay, so we're looking for the Most High to destroy this place. Verse 6: break the teeth of the Most High, of Yahweh Bashim Hashai in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? the teeth of an animal is its power. The teeth of the teeth of a lion, what that lion's teeth is his power. You know, it's the fangs of a poisonous snake. That's his power. Well, symbolically speaking, if you take those tools away, uh, that particular animal is harmless. So this is what we are asking the Most High to do. You know, to dismantle this man's infrastructure. And guess what, brothers? It's happening right before our eyes. With us standing up for Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Okay? Us doing our sit downs. Us speaking against this man's poison. So we are on the right track. Okay? The Most High sent us out here to stand up against these evils, brothers. What we doing is nothing light. We are breaking down the strongholds, you know, that's blockading our people from the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Okay? So let's continue fighting, Banyam. Shalom.